In the previous video, I visited Scotland's Isle of Skye. Join me in this video as I continue exploring Scotland in this series, Backpacking Across Europe. I left Isle of Skye and started driving east toward Loch Ness and the town of Drumnadrochit. I'm not in Liverpool anymore, but here's another yellow submarine. Well, this is exciting. I went into the Loch Ness Center right behind me just a moment ago to buy my ticket to go into the museum, and I saw that one of the options they had was a boat cruise that goes out on Loch Ness. So they had one ticket left for 12 o'clock, which is in about 15 minutes. So I'm headed there now and looking forward for my my boat cruise. Before my cruise on Loch Ness, I thought I'd get some gelato. So right behind me is the gelato place, and I got passion fruit cheesecake. I had a little sample of it. It tasted great. I love passion fruit anyway. So great little way to start off the day before the cruise. Stuff looks all so good. What's the name of this town? Drumnadrochit. Drumnadrochit. I would say Drumnadrochit.
Glorious, it really is. As a Scotsman, when the weather's like this, my first thought isn't, oh, this is great, it's amazing. As a Scotsman, my first thought is, holy cow, we're going to pay for this. We'll fly off down to the bottom of the loch there. We'll spend hours down there, you know. It maps out the bottom. I can in fact confirm we did find the Loch Ness monster. And it was big as well. Now, if you're not completely convinced by me about this, which clearly you're not, there's an image of it here on the back of the door. This here is the very monster we found here. Now once we're out a little bit further, you'll get to see the size of this loch. It's fairly big. By British sizes anyway, it's fairly big. They are a very strange colour when they come out of the water, of course. They also have hypothermia, so it takes them a long time to get over it, but they do seem to enjoy it. Okay, you're off the hook, you can go and sit outside if you want. You can stay inside with the cool club if you want, you know, it's up to you. Whatever you choose. And throw a stone on the shore.
We're still over 100 feet deep.
It's amazing how quickly Loch Ness gets deep. And if you imagine the other side, the profile's exactly the same. Now my friend's dad had one of the best ever sightings of a monster here. He was a retired policeman and he was fishing directly opposite from where we are now. And they all saw the same thing happening at exactly the same time. They described exactly the same thing. So that was one of our best sightings in terms of, you know, numbers of witnesses. So his nickname was the Hammer of the Scots. He didn't like us Scottish people at all. But that's fine, that's okay. Us Scottish people, we didn't like him either. So that was the way that worked.
My tour of Loch Ness on deep scan cruises with our tour guide Ali was fantastic. Now that was a blast. I just did the deep scan cruises on Loch Ness, and our guide was Ali. There were some kids on board. He was great with them, let them drive the boat, and lots of great information. But anyhow, lots of fun, and so now I'm off to get in the car and head towards Inverness. My pizza just arrived. Wow, look at that. That looks amazing. I'm having lunch here in Drumnadrochit. I think I said that right. Drumnadrochit. Anyhow, I'm at the hotel and I was told they have really good pizza. So I ordered pizza. I ordered a small but after I paid for it, they said they didn't have any small pies left, so they gave me a regular size and didn't charge me any extra for it. There's no way I can eat all this, but that's okay. I'll take it back to my Airbnb later this evening. It looks great. It is really, really good. I grew up in a town having to wait on trains at railroad crossings all of the time. But as I approached Inverness, this was the first time I can remember having to wait on a boat crossing. I'm headed into the visitor center at the Culloden battlefield just outside of Inverness. Upon arriving at the visitor center, I paid the fee, and for a few pounds extra, I paid for a 1-hour guided battlefield tour.
I wonder if we should move. Let's move down. This is our last pitch battle fought here on British soil. It's between two European families fighting over the trade routes and the colonies. Today I'm going to start our story with James VII and II. He's married with 2 daughters and everything's going well until the wife passes away. Then James remarries a Catholic woman, producing Charles Edward Stuart. Charles Edward Stuart, now aged 25, has landed here at Glenfinnan. He's going to have a great Jacobite uprising, so with him he brings, wait for it, 7 men. That's all he brings. Here in the Highlands, this is the 4th Jacobite uprising, so a lot of the locals are not keen to join his cause. Just imagine that we're starving and freezing, we would be Jacobites. So, the Jacobites are here. They have no sooner found something to eat and trying to get some sleep when they can hear the kettle drums of the government army. These red flags here is representing the government front line. So there would have been 3 more flags in that direction and 4 more flags in this direction of the government line. 8,000 government troops lined up here, well fed, well rested, military men. We have the support of the French. Okay. I think we need to go back inside.
So my guided tour at Culloden is getting rained out. It's actually not the rain, it's the thunder and lightning. So we're having to leave the battlefield and head back inside. It's kind of fun being out here, but wow, it's really coming down.
Usually when the Jacobites start charging, the government army is up and they start running. But for the last 3 months, William Augustus has trained his men to stand their ground. Because if I'm a Jacobite, I have my broadsword, my targe, which is the shield.
When the tour was over, the weather got better, so I went back outside to walk the battlefield. I'm standing on the site of the battlefield in which the Battle of Culloden took place. It took place on April the 16th, 1746, and it was the last battle ever fought on British soil. These blue flags mark where the Jacobite lines would have originated. And they would have attacked this way toward the government lines. After walking the entire battlefield, I made my way back to the visitor center as it started raining again. The uneven walls and bricks on the visitor center represent the 1,500 lives of the Jacobites that died during the Battle of Culloden. I checked into my Airbnb just outside of town. My hosts were a lovely family, and they gave me some suggestions on what to see in the town of Inverness. After spending a few hours in town, I went back to my Airbnb to get a good night's rest. I got up early the next morning to start driving south back towards Edinburgh. It's Monday, June the 12th, and right now I'm standing outside of Stirling Castle. I drove down from Inverness this morning, and I'm in Stirling, and I got a ticket for the Stirling Castle. It wasn't on my list of things to do, but I had some time today, and I saw this was on the way, so I thought, why not? So I'm going to check that out in just a few minutes. I'm out in the courtyard here at the Stirling Castle, and I'm getting ready to take a guided tour, but this is just beautiful. It's great to be here early in the morning. It just opened up, not throngs of visitors yet like there will be later today, so this is great.
Like roll shaped floor. And then what we did when I took some cultural class at campus, they taught you how to plan your board, how to plan your property. It's really neat.
Man muss dazu sagen, wenn ich ihn noch mal jetzt wird es lange die Gesamt.
Zullen we ik wil even kijken.
Well, good morning everyone, and on behalf of Historic Scotland, I would like to welcome you to Stirling Castle. My name's Charles. For the next roughly 50 minutes, we're going to be taking a tour of one of the greatest Renaissance castles in Scotland. Now, this is the River Forth, and it's one of two rivers which throughout the medieval period was thought to cut Scotland in half. You have the River Forth that flows east out to Edinburgh, and you also have the River Clyde which flows west out to Glasgow. And if you look at medieval maps of Scotland, you'll see a clear dividing line drawn straight across the central belt, save for a small land bridge in the centre. Next you have Ganymede, the cupbearer to the gods, again representing the places of the planet. And last but by no means least,
there's so much luck in every route. Even sailing here is not quite what it is to be. It's actually very, very expensive French Renaissance technique. The unicorn is 500 years ago. The King of France paid for this. This was the alliance between Scotland and France. So what you're seeing is not really Scottish. The only Scottish thing in here is me and the stone.
If anyone is interested in the tapestries, I'm more than happy to tell you a little about them. But by all means, if you're short on time, you're free to leave whenever you wish. But the tapestries here are called the Hunt of the Unicorn. And some of you may have realised that they look rather new. And that is because they are a recreation. But what we have done with the restoration of the palace is to restore it to how it looked when it was new, which involves making many items of great historic importance from scratch.
Stirling Castle is absolutely magnificent. I enjoyed the guided tour I had earlier and just walking around throughout the castle, outside and even the inside parts. Just absolutely beautiful. Wow, now that was a blast visiting Stirling Castle. Had a great time there, and so now I'm walking back to my car, and I might make one more stop before heading to the airport to drop the car off, but we'll see how much time I have. I am going to grab some lunch somewhere probably, but there's another battlefield site that I might visit depending on if I have time or not. So we'll just see. Anyhow, great time at Stirling Castle. I'm walking the grounds of the Battle of Bannockburn, which took place June 24th, 1314. The Bannockburn battlefield was just down the road from Stirling Castle, so I made a short stop to walk around this historic battlefield. I drove back to the Edinburgh airport, where I dropped off my rental car and took the tram back into Edinburgh. I had to catch my evening train ride to the capital of England, London. Well, I'm back in Edinburgh. I dropped my car off at the airport and then took the tram here, and I'm sitting in, actually laying on the grass here at St. Andrew's Square, and I have about an hour to kill or so before I go to the train station, which is just across the street that way. So right now I'm just sitting here. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm just sitting here resting in the shade and just relaxing and chilling out before I have to go to the train station to catch my train to London. So this concludes my journeys in Scotland. I've really loved my entire time in Scotland. It's been an outstanding country, beautiful place, and I'm so glad that I made this one of the highlights of my trip, to spend 4 nights in Scotland, and great time. So anyhow, it's just a nice, peaceful way to finish up my time here. When I left St Andrew's Square, I made the short walk to Waverley Station for my 4 p.m. train ride to London. Platform 6. It was a great train ride. It was very smooth, the seats were comfortable, and the scenery, especially along the coast, was absolutely beautiful. I really enjoy train travel. It allows me to sit back and relax and get caught up on my photos and videos. Plus, unlike airlines, you can easily get up and walk around and stretch your legs anytime you want without having to worry about stepping across people or taking up too much space in the aisleways. It's a great way to travel. I wish we had more of this in the United States. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider clicking that subscribe button. And tune in next time as I explore one of the most famous cities in the world, London, England.
The next station will be York.